Quick tip that I did to get the rotor off. I don't know if you can tell here, but there's a pretty good lip from being worn down from the brakes. Rotors might need to be turned, but you know, it's just off-road. I use it around the house. So I ground down the side just enough to be able to get enough room to get the rotor off, because the caliper was clamped down too tight. It wasn't going to go across this lip on both sides. Mine's got a decent lip, but I went ahead and did it on the opposite side just to for balance sake. All right, well, it took me forever to get this front axle out. Most of the guys on the forum are saying that once you undo it, this big nut over here, it'll literally just pop out. Well, that wasn't the case for mine. Mine was pretty well rusty, as you can see there, and I had to basically pop this bottom ball joint out, loosen this top so that I could pull it apart here, and get back and swing a dead blow hammer against the end here on this side till I could finally break it loose. Unfortunately, it wasn't as easy as just popping out, but that's what I had to do to get it out from the front end of my sandbar here. You can see I got a broken boot, so I got to get this axle out and get that fixed. But if you have a Subaru Sambar, this is what it might take to get the front axle out. Okay, once I got the wheel side axle out of the hub, I know there's a C-clip inside the CV that holds it in. I tried prying it right there, if you could see that, with a pry bar up against here, but it didn't have too much luck. So once I got this side out and I got the hub out of the way, I gave it a few tugs, hoping that it didn't come apart in the CV, and there it goes. Pops out just like that. Once you get the axle out, you can pull this CV boot apart. You can peel these tabs back right here, and it'll basically unfold, and you can pull it right off. Same thing with that one, and then pop that loose. All right, so I got the axle out. I've got it in my vise here. Got the boot pulled back, and basically this side isn't a plunger style like this end. This end is made to go back and forth with a clip, but this end is fixed in there. So got a little brass punch out, put it down in there against the bearing race there inside the CV, and gave it a couple whacks with the dead blow here, and I think it's going to come out now if I put one out. And that's how that end comes off. Now I can clean it all up, slide the new boot on there. You can see the little clip there that you've got to get it past. But that's that. Alright, so I got the CV off and all cleaned up, got all the oil and everything out of it, and I'm about to put it all back together. When you can move it just right to get the captured bearings out of there, and you'll notice there's little witness marks. You can line that back up so you know you're putting it back together right. But this little guy right here, you kind of have to work it till it goes in just right. Kind of say tight fit. It'll just fall in there just right once you get it. Same thing with it coming out. So you get it set up just like that. Then you tilt it. Same thing to remove the bearings. You tilt it really far to one side, and they literally just pop up. And you can put them right back in. Just tilt it up just right where it goes, and you can put it right back in just like that. And then move to the next side. Until you go all the way back around. and get it all back together. All right, well, I finally got a boot in that would fit this Subaru after ordering a couple different boots off eBay and them saying that they were going to fit. They definitely did not fit. They were too big on this outer diameter there. So after about a week of trying different parts and cross-referencing, I found a Polaris CV boot that would fit. This one, the dimensions came out perfect. It looks like it's exactly what's going to work. So for future reference, anyone that needs a Sambar CV boot, this 19-5006 seems to work. I was about to get it back on here, and then I thought I'd show you that you've got to get it past this little clip. That's what keeps the CV from coming apart. And so that little clip I had to sort of reshape, clamp it here and tap it with a screwdriver a little bit to get as close as I could, because it's pretty tough to get over the splines. But hopefully the next stop will be having this CV on and this boot ready to go. Alright, I got the axle all back together, and this is what it looks like with the Polaris Ranger boot on there. Got it filled with grease, and this clamp that it came with is this, it's just a big metal band, and there was plenty extra, but you pull this tight. I actually got lucky and had the tool from a previous job that I did, but yeah, you slide this and it kind of crimps on, and you can see this action here, and then pulls the band really tight, and then you fold it over and hammer it together right there, and that pretty much holds it on there. So I think I'm happy with that, and I can finally get this mini truck back together. Alright, I got the CV back in here. This side, actually, there's a clip on there, but it ended up just lining it up, kind of holding the clip into place and bumping the axle shaft a couple times, and it popped right back in. So that was nice. And this side I cleaned out in there with a wire brush a little bit, cleaned this end with a wire brush and put a little anti-seize on it because it did not want to come out the first time. So yeah, I'll stick that back in there and start putting it back together.